The biggest factor. So it's the feels like temperature. What does it feel like as you walk outside? All right, so it's 0 degrees. Factor in 30-mile-per-hour wind. Walking out in Billings or trying to ski. Imagine going up in the chairlift in that cross. Oh my, it'd be very cold. So they're probably not even allowing it. I'm sure people aren't even out there. All right, so cold conditions, wind chills 20 to 40 degrees below where we should be, and certainly below 0. And so wind chill alerts, we had a lot more yesterday. Today, these are the ones that are left. Fargo, the Twin Cities, of course. We're going to see this 27 in St. Louis. Memphis at 38. All these temperatures to the east are going down because what's happening, the axis of that air is pushing eastward and modifying a little bit. So as cold as Denver was, you're going to warm up 20 degrees and then another 20 degrees. So as this cold air gets to the east, it will modify in sorts. So it really won't be the same Arctic blast that it was earlier. It's got legs, but not as cold. So here's Thursday, Denver, 17 below average, pretty balmy in the mid-20s, right? You should be in the 40s this time of year. So you were 40 degrees today below average, you get to 20 and then you get to average. So kind of a one quick hitter in Friday as well. So Little Rock, you can see 39, pretty palatable, cold, but Denver's saying 39, come on, right? And here's Cincinnati, cold temperatures tomorrow morning, 26, and then we get into the 40s by the time we get to Saturday. So temperatures are certainly moderating, no question about that. But to Denver, Colorado, we had some snow. You know, a lot of these big cities, Dave, Minneapolis, Chicago, they've all had major snow droughts this December. Paltry numbers and historic lack of snow, right?
You know, Alex, I can't even react to your question because there's so much talk of cold. All I can dream of is palm trees and warm. Oh. It was 83 in Miami today.
Real. What was your favorite city yesterday? Vero Beach.
Vero Beach.
Did the mayor call you after all that Vero Beach love? I thought he was going to offer you a timeshare at half the price.
But you're absolutely right. It is cold. People are digging out, trying to stay warm in Denver, for example. But bitter cold air is making it tough. It barely made it out of the negative numbers today. Leanne Gregg is in the Mile High City for us, files this report.
Hello from Denver. The temperatures here at Washington Park have been between -7 and 2 degrees throughout the day. It's been a struggle for those temperatures to get above 0 in much of the Denver metro area, and those cold temperatures will remain throughout the night. This is a very snowy scene here at the park. The snow started rolling in early Monday morning. Most of the snow is gone. Now, these frigid temperatures should begin to diminish tomorrow and be out of here by New Year's Day when it'll be back up to about 30 degrees. Part of a massive system that's affecting more than half the United States. It's a long way from being over as it heads toward the east. From Denver, I'm Leanne Gregg for the Weather Channel.
And thanks, Leanne, for that report, and thanks for braving the cold. Officially, it's 0 degrees in Denver. What do you do? I mean, it's 0 degrees. You go to the movies. Annie. Denver 0, just some flurries around now. We do have some accumulating snow west of Wichita and Sedgwick County, so heads up for that. 15 on the 35, Highway 35. There's the wind in Northern California. Boy, those wind advisories remain in effect. Parts of trees and power lines are down in Northern and Central California that I've heard of. I don't know about Nevada, but they're gusting up here too. So I want you to be especially careful, especially tonight. Once it starts to get dark, you know, we don't want anything happening bad to you, you know, on the roads before January 1st. Look at these clouds. Here's an area of low pressure that's developing. It's raining at San Diego Airport, 57. Raining at LAX, 54. But this is not flooding rain. It's just showers here and there and cold. Even into the valley, 48 degrees in Riverside, California, and raining. Meanwhile, to the east of the Rockies, it's cloudy, freezing drizzle. So this storm is going to be moving through the Four Corner states, bringing light to moderate snowfall totals, especially in the mountains. But in northeast Arizona and northern New Mexico, we're going to have pretty good amounts. And even near Las Vegas and not far from Phoenix, we're going to have some snow too, Alex. So you're right. It was warm in Miami, but the cold really is the news.
Oh, absolutely. And some snow in Vegas, so let's see if it happens on the Strip. All right, thank you so much, Dave. All right, we're constantly, though, getting new information, of course, on the search for AirAsia Flight 8501. Now, it's just after 5 a.m. there, so the search will resume in less than an hour at 6 a.m. Earlier, rescuers rappelled from helicopters to get a closer look at the Java Sea. Now, they located at least 6 bodies, along with an airplane emergency exit door and red, white, and black debris, the colors of the AirAsia jet. Military planes will be back out shortly to continue their search, as will divers. And now they're diverting all their resources to the area where the debris is, which is about 6 miles from the plane's last known location. The U.S. Navy destroyer USS Sampson is also there to search. 162 people were on board the flight, of course, that went missing on Sunday morning after the pilots requested to fly around the bad weather. Of course, more on the story and the weather impacts next.
Saving and smiling. That's how I start the year. With tons of stuff on rollback, clearance, and more at Walmart. And that really puts a smile on my face.
Thousands of items on rollback and clearance, in-store and online.
Thanks.
FedEx has solutions to enable global commerce that can help your company grow steadily and quickly.
Cut it out. See you tomorrow.
Americans drink 48 billion bottles of water every year. That's enough plastic bottles to stretch around the Earth 230 times. Each Brita filter can replace 300 of those. Clean, clear Brita water. Nothing is better.
Sensitive bladder? Try new Always Discreet. Up to 40% thinner for superior comfort. Absorbs 2 times more than you may need. No wonder more women already prefer new Always Discreet pads over Poise. Visit alwaysdiscreet.com for coupons and to learn more.
And then Santa's workers zapped it right to our house. And that's how they got it here.
Cool.
The magic of the season is here at the Lexus December to Remember sales event. This is the pursuit of perfection.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel. See the weather like never before.
Look at this! Listen to that!
Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, showers early, then partly cloudy overnight. Low 69. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, afternoon showers. High 79. Chance of rain 40%. Wednesday night, a few clouds from time to time. Slight chance of a rain shower. Low 67. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The Weather Channel unearths the investigations, the mysteries.
Nobody was flying the plane.
Why planes crash. Mondays at 9, here on the Weather Channel.
It's not too late to get what you really wanted for the holidays. Now at the Men's Warehouse after Christmas sale, get select designer suits for $249.99. Plus, buy one, get one free on almost everything else in the store. Confidence suits you. Only at Men's Warehouse.
It's the end of the year. Time to reflect on your accomplishments. At Chevrolet, we've had quite a few. In fact, this year we've won more awards than any other car company. And it's not too late to reward yourself at the Chevy year-end event. Hurry, it all ends January 2nd. Choose a Cruze in stock the longest and get cash back for 20% of the MSRP. That's over $4,250 on this Cruze LT. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls, and you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for Better Car Replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
You're watching Weather Center Live with Alexander Steele and Dave Schwartz. Good to see you. We continue to follow the new developments with the disappearance and now suspected crash of AirAsia Flight 8501.
You know, the planes and the crew spent yesterday searching the water. We'll be back in less than an hour at 6 a.m. local time. They're
Right.
24 hours ahead. So NBC's Katie Tur on the ground with the latest and the plan for the search that will start in about an hour.
A tough day here in Southeast Asia as officials confirm that they found debris and bodies in the water in the Java Sea, and that debris and those bodies belong to that missing AirAsia Flight 8501, all made even tougher by the fact that relatives learned of this by watching local TV, seeing images of bodies in the water on live television without any warning. It bears repeating there were 162 people on this flight. 17 of them were kids. 1 of them was a baby. They're going to begin the search effort again tomorrow in earnest, hoping that they're still going to find yet more debris, potentially maybe even survivors. That hope obviously dwindling, though, as the hours go on. They're also going to send divers down to a big shadowy area that they've seen from above. They believe that's where the bulk of the wreckage is. They're hoping those divers will be able to recover the black boxes. They can bring them back to land to be analyzed, to figure out exactly what went wrong with this flight and what they can learn for the future. Meanwhile, there is a plane that's been chartered by AirAsia for the family members so that they can pray in the last known location where that plane was. A tough day all around, but it will begin again tomorrow. 5 countries still searching. They are still calling this a search and rescue operation, hoping that there could still be survivors. Back to you.
You know, so in about an hour, of course, they're going to go in and look under the water. Now, the Java Sea is pretty shallow. It's about the feet deep. Compare that to 15,000 feet deep. That was the Indian Ocean with last year's Malaysian flight.
Right.
And, you know, looking at this satellite map, you know, one thing, Dave, that's really interesting, it's pretty stormy there now still, right? And it's also windy with these strong thunderstorms. And you wouldn't think the winds would make a big deal, but the wind moves the water, creates currents, and thus then creates these white caps. So it's hard for searchers to see.
Sure.
Because what they're looking for are red, white, and black, you know?
Right, right. I'm sure that is some task, but of course they have training for it, so they know what they're in for. And this is typical weather for this time of year. It is the monsoon down here along the equator.
Right. So it's unbelievable, these big storms. And also we talked about how voracious they are in the morning hours.
Right.
As opposed to here in the U.S., we have our biggest storms in the afternoon and evening, 4 or 5 o'clock. They seem to be getting them in the early hours right now.
And that's what's right now, right, as you mentioned.
It's morning there now. It's 5 o'clock here on the east, or 6. It's 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. there.
And for more on why storms there are so dangerous, here's our storm specialist, Carl Parker.
So we want to talk about the prevalence of thunderstorms in that region, and that is due to something called the Intertropical Convergence Zone. So here's a look at where that is, and generally it resides near the equator. It's a band of thunderstorms, and it migrates to the north and to the south of the equator in the tropics, and that's why it's called intertropical. It's also called convergence zone because of converging winds. That means winds that are coming together from 2 different directions, and as the air flows together, it's got to go up at that point once it gets together, and that rising motion helps to create thunderstorms. And another factor is you've got the largest area of warm ocean temperatures in the entire world. So there's a lot of moisture in the air, and that too fuels these thunderstorms. So you've got a very warm atmosphere, and because it is warm, it has expanded greatly around that region, and the thunderstorms too also grow taller in that region, getting up to 50, 60, in some cases 70,000 feet, and most commercial airliners won't get above 40,000 feet. So they've got to try to get around those very tall thunderstorms, and that certainly may have been a factor in this particular tragedy.
All right, weather a factor in the tragedy, and of course even now in trying to search and rescue after the tragedy, weather is certainly a big factor.
From the tropics to Winter Storm Frona, that's where we're headed right after this.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that playing cards with Kenny Rogers gets old pretty fast?
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. What? You get it?
I get the gist, yeah.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I will light up every room I walk into.
Olay presents the Regenerist Luminous Collection. Renew surface cells to even skin tone. In just 2 weeks, see pearlescent luminous skin. Regenerist Luminous. Olay, your best beautiful.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
Nourished. Rescued. Protected. Given new hope. During the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru owners feel it too. Because when you take home a new Subaru, we donate $250 to helping those in need. We'll have given $50 million over 7 years. Love, it's what makes a Subaru.
Your cold doesn't rest, but now you can. Coldie's Daytime, Nighttime Quick Melts dissolve quickly to shorten your cold. Nighttime Quick Melts shorten your cold, plus help you fall asleep and wake up naturally. Coldie's Zinc Ions, released in your mouth, inhibit the cold virus from replicating, making Coldie's the #1 pharmacist recommended brand.
I'm Ted Karkas, CEO, and I guarantee Coldie's will shorten your cold or your money back. No questions asked.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight. Wild Weather at 8 on the Weather Channel. See the weather like never before.
Let me tell you a story about 2 typical American couples. There's John and Joan, who could use some financial help, but they're worried and have some misconceptions about reverse mortgages. Like they might not qualify if they have an existing mortgage, and that it could mean giving up their home. But take Sandy and Greg. They're just like John and Joan, but they called AAG and learned that a reverse mortgage was government insured, tax-free, and that they'd always retain complete ownership of their home. They also learned that most people use a reverse mortgage to eliminate their existing monthly mortgage payments, and that AAG is America's trusted reverse mortgage lender with a 93% customer satisfaction rate. So join Sandy, Greg, and 500,000 other Americans.
Call 1-800-660-8341 now to receive a new free information kit, including a reverse mortgage guide and DVD, personal stories from people like you, and a brand new family guide for children and loved ones, all absolutely free with no obligation. Call 1-800-660-8341 today.
A way of saying thank you. Wild tiger numbers are at an all-time low. Please help save them now.
The Weather Channel unearths the investigations, the mysteries.
Nobody was flying the plane.
Why planes crash. Mondays at 9, here on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, periods of rain early, low 69. Chance of rain, 90%. Rainfall around a ½ inch. Wednesday, afternoon showers, high 79. Chance of rain, 40%. Wednesday night, a few clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 67. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hi, everyone. It is 20 past. Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday. We're almost near the New Year's Eve tomorrow and New Year's Day. And Winter Storm Frona certainly has our sights set on what we're going to see. We're going to certainly see cold air, snow, and even some ice. So let me show you. Here's where the center of this storm is right now in Southern California. And that's why the first step for this, before we get to Wednesday night, will be the snow in Southern Cal and the San Gabriel Mountains. We're going to see above about 2,000 feet, some substantial snow. But then it all moves eastward. So by Wednesday night, we get into freezing rain. And then Wednesday night into Thursday, we're going to see this expand. And now we are going to see it get into Dallas potentially. Dallas has kind of been a really close call with this. But Wichita Falls, Abilene, Midland, all will see potentially maybe 1/10 of an inch of ice or glaze, even up to maybe 1/4 of an inch. So certainly really dangerous. So we've got the cold air in place. We're talking about ample snow, right? Double digits of snow and kind of the snow sweet spot in the Rockies. So why in Texas are we not seeing the snow? Why is it freezing rain? Well, here's why it is. Here's the atmosphere over Texas. Okay, the surface layer as you look up. So this is kind of looking up into the atmosphere. Think of like a hamburger with some layers, like a tomato and a cheese or a lettuce or a layer cake. That's what this kind of looks like, right? At the surface, it's 32. But above that, it's warmer than that. It's about 39 degrees. So when something from the atmosphere high up freezes, it's frozen, it goes into the warmer layer of the atmosphere, it melts, but then it keeps folding down and it's melted and then it freezes on contact and refreezes because, of course, here at the surface it's 32. So that's why the atmosphere and the layer, and it's the warm layer, Dave, that's really the caveat that's going to bring and really make this an icy mess as opposed to just some snow.
That's going to be a close call, you're right.
Yeah.
You know, it's 45 degrees in Dallas, chilly with that north wind, but here in Las Vegas it's just 1 degree warmer, 46. And we could have some freezing precipitation as early as tonight. For the first time, it's clouded over here in Las Vegas. It's been sunny every time we've checked in with you guys, but now cloudy and cloudy for the rest of the afternoon, tonight and tomorrow, with the chance of rain and snow in the valley. Snow level 2,000 feet, which is exactly the elevation of Las Vegas International Airport. Well, Craig Figner from affiliate News 3 shows us that even talk of snow is threatening everything from vacations to food deliveries.
What a difference a day might make on the Las Vegas Strip. The possibility of snow and icy weather was enough for this couple from Ohio to rethink the way they'll begin 2015.
It's running us out of town. We're leaving, going back to Cincinnati.
Seriously, we are. We're leaving tomorrow. We're going to beat that storm.
If the storm hits with crushing cold, it could drive away a lot of tourists in cars, especially from California. Tracy and Michael drove here from Ohio.
Home of the Bengals.
And they aren't taking any chances.
Yes, I believe it. Yes, and we want to beat it. We do not want to get stuck here. We don't want to get stuck going through the mountains.
At McCarran, it could cripple air traffic for people and seafood. 5,000 pounds of live blue crab arrive weekly as freight and usually on Southwest passenger flights.
As long as we don't get hit with a big blizzard here and shut the city down for 4 or 5 days, I think we'll be able to survive a one-day snowstorm.
It is hard to imagine such a drastic change in weather from an evening where these flames are mostly decorative to one in about a day where they would be mandatory.
All right, let's check out the forecast for New Year's Eve, shall we? And how long is it till then?
Yeah, what do you think? All right, 1 day, 6 hours and 36 minutes. That's for the East Coast.
East Coast,
New Year's Eve. So let's take a look at some forecasts. Wherever you're, more or less, it's cold. Certainly from the west to the central U.S.
Cold but dry.
Yeah, cold but dry. From Vegas to Salt Lake and Billings, Montana to Denver. Dry skies, beautiful conditions when you're looking at the starry night. Yeah. But you better be bundled up.
Right, bundle up and get next to somebody who's generating heat.
Oh, yes.
Yes, a very good idea. New York City in the upper 20s out there, Times Square. What's our next stop? Can we hit one more stop? There we go. Miami. That's where I'm going.
That's your spot. You're right. Absolutely.
Hey, Pete, check this out. Come here, little doggy. Sit.
Oh.
Sit.
You train your little doggy?
Yeah, but he's not doing any of his stuff. Shake.
Oh, maybe he's grumpy, you know? I mean, it is lunchtime, so.
Oh, right, it's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime, yeah.
Must be it. Little doggy.
It's okay. Does it taste good, though?
A little dog with a big bite. Low Doggies, starting at $1.29. And save room for a molten cake sundae. This is how you Sonic.
My goal was to finally get in shape. Not to be focusing again on my moderate to severe chronic plaque psoriasis. So I finally made a decision to talk to my dermatologist about Humira. Humira works inside my body to target and help block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to my symptoms. In clinical trials, most adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis saw 75% skin clearance on Humira, and the majority of people were clear or almost clear in just 4 months. Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection. Set a new goal today. Ask your dermatologist about Humira, because with Humira, clear skin is possible.
She inspires you. No question about that. But your erectile dysfunction? That could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any allergic reactions like rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
I've seen hurricanes, floods, I've seen tornadoes. We give out Duracell batteries after the worst happens. And when the power's out for days, we stay with them. You might say they lost everything, but that's not what I see. I see a different kind of power. I saw it in Ruth, Adam, Tom. It's the power they have inside of them. The power to move forward.
At Duracell, we believe that's the power that never, ever goes out.
Mondays at 9, the Weather Channel unearths the investigation.
This was a totally preventable accident.
The mysteries.
Nobody was flying the plane.
And the final moments.
In 1 second, their fellow passengers were sitting there. A second later, they were gone.
Why planes crash. Mondays at 9, here on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, periods of rain early, low 69. Chance of rain, 90%. Rainfall around a ½ inch. Wednesday, afternoon showers, high 79. Chance of rain, 40%. Wednesday night, a few clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 67. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weather ever caught on camera.
Oh my God!
Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
It's running us out of town. We're leaving, going back to Cincinnati.
Seriously, we are.
When it's single digits, it doesn't do too much for you.
It's cold, it's windy, and we're trying to get covered.
We're leaving tomorrow. We're going to beat that storm.
What is with those people? We're leaving to go back to Cincinnati?
Right?
I mean, you're leaving to go back to Fort Myers.
Naples?
Tampa.
Beach.
But not Cincinnati.
No.
Stay in Vegas. Oh, you go. Okay.
Maybe they've lost all their money and they're like, we got to go home
Right,
anyway.
that's right.
All right, hi, everyone. It's past the hour. We're so glad you're with us on this Tuesday. And, of course, a new year ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And I was teaching my daughter, my 6-year-old daughter, what a New Year's resolution was.
Yeah, and?
We're working on them.
We're working on it.
I have too many. It's like, forget it.
This is Alexandra Steele. I'm Dave Schwartz. A pleasure to have you with us today. We have some of the coldest air of the season this morning, and it's not quite going away just yet.
No, and really, I think it's Arctic cold and the winds to boot. Today and tomorrow, kind of the worst of it, and then it all kind of modifies.
Right, that's right. I'm going to check out the map, okay?
I'm going to work on my resolutions.
You talk to the talk to your daughter. Take a look at these numbers here on this wall. These were the low temperatures we saw this morning. A 15 below in Warroad, Minnesota. How's that for a name, huh? 16 below in Huron. 31 below in Pinedale. What a lovely sounding town. What's the temperature? 31 below. Pinedale should be like 70 degrees year-round with a name like that, you know? Well, here we are right now, my friend. 0 is our daytime high temperature in Denver, and our average high is 43. And our daytime high is 0, our current temperature. Omaha not far behind. Look at Minneapolis in the single digits all day long. This is it. This is winter. This is winter. High pressure sitting right over the northern high plains, northerly winds, bringing the wind chills down to 15, 20, 25 below 0. Even deep far south, even into Texas, it is cold and cloudy and dank. Well, in Denver tomorrow morning, 17 below. That's 42 degrees below average. This high pressure area is so strong. Not only did we set records for temperatures this morning, we set records for high pressure this morning. Intense cold air mass, 15 to 25 degrees below average through midweek, all the way down to the Rio Grande Valley. Middle of the country, taking it hard. 35 in San Angelo. Denver comes back, though, will be in the mid-20s on New Year's Day. Feels like a warm-up, huh? 25 degrees.
Denver going from a record cold, gaining 40 degrees by the time we get into the weekend.
And they'll still be below average.
And they're still below average, right? And the winds, of course, have been such a big factor, Dave. And of course, it's a big factor for millions of us because we're seeing this really cold Arctic air and then these winds to boot. But why does the wind make us feel colder? And how do our bodies protect us from this wind? Well, here's Sam Champion with a demonstration that is really cool. It'll have you shivering, no pun intended, in today's Brainstorm.
The equation used to calculate the effect of wind on the human body during cold weather, or wind chill, looks like this. So to get a less complicated look at the physiological effects of wind chill, we enlisted Josh Garcia from our Brainstorm team to be a guinea pig and step inside our custom lab, an ice truck. To monitor respiratory and heart rates, we've equipped Josh with a high-tech bioharness and an ingestible thermometer that will track his core body temperature.
All right, Josh, this is going to measure your core temperature. Yes. It's an internal thermometer. I'm going to have you drink this water. Right. Down it goes.
For a baseline test, the truck is chilled to an ambient, windless temperature of 20 degrees. At this rate, frostbite could occur in as little as 30 minutes.
All right, we're about 10 minutes in, and my core body temperature is actually dipped about a half a degree, which may not seem like a lot, but it feels like a lot.
Our infrared thermometer shows Josh's surface temperature is just 41 degrees. And after 20 minutes, Josh's heart rate slowly increases to above 90 beats per minute. Now, to simulate a 20-degree wind chill, we raise the ambient temperature to 31 degrees, but add a 15-mile-per-hour wind.
Josh, how you doing up there?
I've had better days, Nick.
In normal conditions, the human body radiates heat, which forms a layer of warm air that shields the ambient temperature from the skin. But wind blows that away, making your skin more vulnerable to the cold. So although the ambient temperature was more than 10 degrees higher, the wind chill made his core body temperature fall by half a degree, while areas of his skin actually dropped to below 40 degrees. But one major difference from the first test was Josh's heart rate. In an effort to maintain a safe core body temperature in cold weather, glucose stores are processed up to 5 times faster. This increases the body's ability to burn fat and gives the skeletal muscles fuel to shiver, both which generate heat energy. And during the final 90 seconds of this demonstration, this causes Josh's heart rate to spike at 171 beats per minute, or about 90% of his max.
My heart is beating out of my chest. It's close to my max.
This increased heart rate is what effectively keeps Josh safe while enduring the wind.
I'm freezing. I really can't say I've endured temperatures this cold before in my entire life.
And that process of thermal regulation, the body's effort to regulate its temperature, is a lot of work. The wind chill triggered a spike in Josh's heart rate, about 25% higher than a cyclist's during the Tour de France. And you've been Brainstorm. Sam Champion, The Weather Channel.
I hope they had that guy sign a consent form before he went in there.
Oh, what a trooper, you know?
Yeah, really.
All right, of course, you know, we've been all talking for the last 3 hours about the other big story and all day long about the search for the missing AirAsia flight. Well, authorities say they are now 95% certain they have found parts of the plane in the Java Sea.
Right. Several bodies have been recovered, and the U.S. is sending a warship to help with this effort. NBC's Richard Jordan has the latest developments as the search continues in just about an hour, actually.
These images aired on Indonesian television show the latest discoveries that are evidence of a plane crash in the Java Sea. The relatives of the 162 people on board the missing plane watched in horror as their worst fears played out before their eyes. AirAsia Flight 8501 vanished after the pilot reported severe storms ahead.
In this particular instance, we had good radar coverage. They had radar on this aircraft until the airplane went into probably a very dense part of that thunderstorm.
The flight from Surabaya to Singapore disappeared just minutes after a request from the cockpit to climb in altitude because of bad weather. This is the first crash for AirAsia.
They have a good safety record, but we all know when it comes to industries like aviation that just because you have a good safety record, that doesn't mean you're immune to events like this.
5 countries have been asked to provide resources to aid in the search. The USS Samson, a destroyer in the South China Sea, was sent to help locate the wreckage, but may be used for recovery efforts now that Indonesian air traffic control officials report debris found is from the missing flight. Richard Jordan, NBC News, Washington.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, periods of rain early, low 69. Chance of rain, 90%. Rainfall around a half an inch. Wednesday, afternoon showers, high 79. Chance of rain, 40%. Wednesday night, a few clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 67. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Let me tell you something about my cat. Time. Oh. Sign up at eHarmony.com. We'll find the perfect guy for you.
Time. Stop waiting. Start communicating for free today.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Why do you want to do your taxes now with Jackson Hewitt? Because you need a free $50 Walmart e-gift card so you can share the joy of getting your taxes done. Now get a free $50 Walmart e-gift card when you do your taxes with Jackson Hewitt at Walmart.
You park your car. As you walk away, crunch, a garbage truck backs into it. So you call your insurance company looking for a little support. What you get is a game of 1,000 questions. Was it raining? Were your flashers on? Was there a dog with you? By the time you hang up, you're convinced the accident was your fault. Then you remember, you weren't even in the car.
At Liberty Mutual, we make filing a claim as stress-free as possible. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
If a denture were to be put under a microscope, we can see all the bacteria that still exists. Polident's unique MicroClean formula works in just 3 minutes, killing 99.99% of odor-causing bacteria for a cleaner, fresher, brighter denture every day.
It's not too late to get what you really wanted for the holidays. Now at the Men's Warehouse After Christmas sale, get select designer suits for $249.99. Plus, buy one, get one free on almost everything else in the store. Confidence suits you. Only at Men's Warehouse.
All clear.
Good. And then Santa's helpers boarded the train, and off they went. And that's how we got it. Wow.
The magic of the season is here at the Lexus December to Remember sales event. This is the pursuit of perfection.
This is the equivalent of the sugar in one regular soda. And this is one soda a day over an average adult lifetime. But there's a better choice. Drink more Brita water. Clean, refreshing Brita.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Children are dying every day from hunger and sickness. Innocent children, just like this one. These children are facing death right now. But with your support and just 50 cents a day, we can save them. Please go online or call this number and join the U.S. Fund for UNICEF for only $15 a month. It's just 50 cents a day, and you'll deliver emergency medical care, vaccines, and life-saving nutrition to the children who could die without it. It's just 50 cents a day, but it'll mean the difference between life and death for a child waiting for help right now. Coming for to care. Reach out to that child so they never have to look into the face of death again. Go online or pick up the phone now.
So now that it appears that we've recovered some of the debris and unfortunately bodies from that AirAsia Flight 8501, the focus now is what happened? Why did it happen?
Right, and storm specialist Carl Parker now explains how a buildup of ice potentially can cause big problems for planes, including this one.
Part of the answer as to what happened with the AirAsia flight may lie in the presence of supercooled water droplets in the thunderstorm that the flight went into. And let's take a look at what those supercooled water droplets do on the top of Mount Washington. These photos from Mike Tice. This is rime ice, and it actually forms from freezing fog. So you've got liquid water droplets that can't form ice because they don't have ice nuclei. But once they come into contact with something solid, like a building, then they do form ice, and that's where we get this rime ice. Now, knowing that, you can also have supercooled water droplets in thunderstorms. So here's a depiction of the flight going into the thunderstorm and getting into these supercooled water droplets that can't form ice and yet are well below freezing. And so once they come into contact with the front of the plane, they begin to freeze. We start to see an ice buildup. Now, the reason why that's important is because of these pitot tubes, which are mounted near the nose of the plane. plane. What they do is determine the airspeed of the plane. That's a critical measurement when you're flying a commercial airliner or any plane. And so air flows into the pitot tube, and the pressure that results is the way it measures the airspeed. It will do that as long as it's not blocked. And generally they don't get blocked because they are heated. But if they're not heated for some reason, if there's a malfunction and ice is able to build up on that tube and block that entryway, then they're not going to get an airspeed measurement, and the autopilot then ceases to function, and they have to take over manually, and they might not know how fast they're flying, and that's really, really important. In fact, take a look at this. We'll look at a typical flight here in terms of speed and altitude. So we're going out on the x-axis in terms of speed there. That's the airspeed. On the y-axis, we've got altitude. So as you get up in altitude, you need a lot more speed to maintain flight. It's really critical, and it makes a lot of sense when you think about it because there are less air molecules as you're going up in the atmosphere. So if they're getting up into this area during the course of the flight, and then for some reason they're getting a faulty airspeed indication, and they allow the speed to come back while they're still at altitude, it's possible they get into this territory where there could have been a stall. So we don't know that that was the case in this particular case, but we know that that's happened before, and that is one of the leading theories at this time. Back to you.
What a great explanation, Carl. Just awesome. You know, but it's not just ice. Thunderstorms, something airline pilots deal with every day.
NBC's Peter Alexander found technology and training have come a long way.
Flying in severe weather can be risky. Lightning can strike at any moment. High winds, heavy fog, snowstorms. Even clear air turbulence can cause passengers to panic. Like this American Airlines flight from South Korea to Dallas diverted to Japan earlier this month.
Everything that wasn't bolted down or seatbelted flew into the air.
Severe thunderstorms like those encountered by the missing AirAsia flight can be an airplane and anyone on board's worst enemy.
Hail, lightning, those vertical downdrafts. Thunderstorms are something pilots learned very early you have to avoid at pretty much at all costs. You don't fly into thunderstorms.
Airlines and pilots specifically prepare their flight paths to go above or around storms. Still, AirAsia Flight 8501's disappearance is drawing comparisons to the 2009 Air France disaster that plunged into the Atlantic after critical equipment iced up in a severe storm, and an Air Algiers flight that crashed this summer while trying to avoid bad weather. No one survived either crash. But planes are designed to withstand extreme elements like lightning strikes that are estimated to hit each airliner in the U.S. once a year. Today's planes are also more ruggedly built. Push to the limit is seen in this video at Boeing, where engineers bent the 777 wing an estimated 23 feet before they could make it snap. And planes that can fly 8 miles a minute have live radar that can track storms hundreds of miles ahead, giving pilots time to plan a detour.
In the very rare case where someone does enter a thunderstorm, the biggest issue is hail because of the damage that it can cause to the leading edges of the wing, the windshield, and to the engines.
And while it's definitely unsettling when you're flying through rough weather, air safety experts insist flying is still the safest way to travel. With more than 3.3 billion passengers safely flying this year on 38 million flights worldwide. Back to you.
Your New Year's Eve forecast is next.
Don't wait for awesome. Totino's Pizza Rolls get you there in just 60 seconds. Go bold with flavors that kick.
Everyone sees the same sky. But when we look up, we see something amazing. This winter, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
It's going to have wide-ranging impacts.
Winter storms are too important to cover in just a few minutes.
It's going to be brutal for a lot of people.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
That's why those temperatures stay cold.
Look at this!
Listen to that!
See this winter like never before. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, periods of rain early, low 69. Chance of rain, 90%. Rainfall around a ½ inch. Wednesday, afternoon showers, High 79. Chance of rain 40%. Wednesday night, a few clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 67. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
My job is so hard on my hands.
The cracks were the worst part.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry hands that crack and split.
There was a difference within just minutes of it absorbing into my skin.
Only O'Keefe's has given me the relief that I need.
Learn more at workinghands.com.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry skin that cracks and splits.
Nourished. Rescued. Protected. Given new hope. During the Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru owners feel it too. Because when you take home a new Subaru, we donate $250 to helping those in need. We'll have given $50 million over 7 years. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Corey was proud to serve his country. But when his Humvee was blown up in Iraq, doctors didn't think he would survive his injuries. But Corey surprised everyone. He came home to his wife and 2 children.
When I see the kids and Corey together, it's heartwarming because they accept him for who he is.
My dad is a superhero. I read to him. When I see my dad smile, I'm happy.
Your gift to Wounded Warrior Project can help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
I think it's very important for people to support the Wounded Warrior Project. For $19 a month, you give a family hope. Okay, ready? Here he comes.
Our heroes have returned home, and the war may have slipped from the headlines, but the ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come.
Sometimes I help my dad walk. He puts his hand on my shoulders.
Call or go online with a monthly pledge. You'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
I want the whole world to be able to meet Corey because he is someone that has never given up.
I'm really proud of my dad. Really proud.
Now is the time to show your support. You can honor and empower those who have sacrificed so much for us.
Being together with other wounded warriors, for Corey's sake, to be around caregivers for my sake, it's amazing. And just that sense of not being alone, because that feeling of being alone was probably the hardest thing.
For many of our warriors, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. Don't let that happen.
Hey, girl. Hey, can you help me move?
Sure, but I can't use my hands.
I would, but my back is so bad.
Oh. Well. Hi, I'm moving.
No problem. The Xfinity Mover's Edge program makes it easy to stay connected to your TV, internet, and home phone when you move.
Thank you.
Finally get some help moving. Get your Xfinity services professionally installed on a date you choose. Or ask how you can take your equipment with you. Call 1-855-MOVE-EDGE or go online today.
Latte or Olay? Cozy or cool? Exactly the way you want it. Until boom, it's bedtime. Your mattress is a battleground of thwarted desire. Enter the Sleep Number bed. Save $300 on the final closeout of the C3 Queen mattress set. He's the softie. His Sleep Number setting is 35. You're the rock at 60. And snoring? Sleep Number's even got an adjustment for that. Only at a Sleep Number store. Find the lowest prices of the season with the C3 Queen mattress set, only $1199.98, plus 24-month special financing on all beds. No better sleep with Sleep Number.
06. For a free brochure, call 1-800-594-6106.
Look at this! Listen to that!
See this winter like never before. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel Mornings.
A windy day in California. You can see the camera shaking, and you can also see the excellent visibility. This is the San Francisco Bay Area, where temperatures are in the 40s and the winds are gusting into the 40s. That's why there have been delays at the airport. There have also been reports of wind damage, trees and power lines down, and interruptions in service of the Bay Area Rapid Transit. So if you take Bart home from work, you might just have to take another way, or perhaps they're using buses to detour for the trains because there are trees down on tracks. So heads up, my friend. Right now, gusting to 35 at San Francisco International Airport. They were gusting even higher than that. Very windy over the passes here, Interstate 80 over the Sierra Nevada mountains. So please be careful. Unfortunately, there have been at least one fatality in Northern California. This one, fatality confirmed when the tree fell onto a car on Elliott Road. That's in Paradise, north of Sacramento. And another report, at least unofficial report, of a fatality on Mongalia. Same idea, tree coming down on a person. Showers are beginning to develop as our storm, or at least the center, the vorticity of the storm, moves into Southern California. It is 43 and raining right now in Bakersfield. We're going to have some snow in the mountains north of Los Angeles. Snow levels tonight coming down to about 2,000 feet. And then we'll see snow developing into Arizona and Utah, and maybe Las Vegas. It'll be a close call, probably just east of Las Vegas and up on Mount Charleston. That's what that little dot is. Mountains north of Phoenix and Tucson, winter storm watches are in effect. Modest snowfall totals, 5 to 12 inches generally. And then the storm moves out into the southern plains. We've already had kind of a mess of freezing drizzle and light snow. That area is going to expand, especially tomorrow night. We're going to see milder air overrunning the very cold air we have at the surface, and there's the chance for ice from Midland all the way to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex late Wednesday night, New Year's Eve, and Thursday. So, and then it moves across the Mississippi River with a wintry mix on January 2nd all the way up to St. Louis, into Chicago, Detroit. So as you can see, this is going to be one coast-to-coast storm. Saturday night, low pressure develops along the coast. We'll have two areas, one here, one there, for snow around the Great Lakes, rain changing to snow in Indianapolis, and then a wintry mix north and west of Interstate 95. This is going to be an active rest of the week. Happy New Year. Alex, back to you.
And Dave, you know, you're talking about Texas. Austin, Texas, just canceling their New Year's Eve festivities at Butler Park because of the cold and the ice. So a new date, TBA, they haven't decided, but Austin canceling. All right, also, if you are a sports fan, a lot of bowl games to watch over the next couple of days. Tonight at 6:30 Eastern, it is the Belk Ball, Georgia versus Louisville from Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. And you can see it's cold, but, you know, not as cold as other places around the country.
Right, yeah. East Coast is doing okay today.
Yeah.
Santa Clara, California, well, that's San Francisco area in general. And windy is the story. Look at those winds. So the kicking game, you know, you get that ball up in the air for any reason, a kick or a pass, going to be impacted.
Right, and also the Glendale, Arizona, the Vizio Fiesta Bowl, the Broncos, the Wildcats. You can see rain at 4 o'clock, temperatures right around 50 or so, a little bit less than that. So, you know, a little bit of rain. It could have been colder.
Right, and look at Miami Gardens.
What do you think?
Come on, low 70s for New Year's?
What do you think?
That's
Georgia Tech,
right.
Mississippi State? Who do you like?
I like it warm. That's who I like.
Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Nick and Kim Cunningham are up next. See you soon.
60 seconds away.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, periods of rain early, low 69. Chance of rain, 90%. Rainfall around a ½ inch. Wednesday, afternoon showers, high 79. Chance of rain, 40%. Wednesday night, a few clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 67. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Nick Walker.
And I'm Kim Cunningham. More than 10 million. That's how many Americans will face dangerously cold conditions in the coming days, courtesy of an Arctic blast. That's just one of the big weather stories that we are covering tonight.
Just one. We also have a named winter storm that could send flakes flying over your New Year's Eve, and the ongoing search efforts for the still missing Air Asia passenger jet.
All right, let's start though with the frigid cold. Take a look at how much of the country is now under wind chill advisories right now. And these kind of temperatures, well, can be downright dangerous. We're talking in 10 or 20 to 30 below zero range. And Nick, this cold air is pushing south and east.
It is amazing who is going to see cold. It's going to be returning to the plains, not just the northern plains, not just the central plains, but the southern plains too. And look what it's been doing to Denver. You're back down into the minus, below zero category now in Denver. With 3 degrees, it is 0 at Boulder and at Littleton and at Brighton right now. You just barely made it up into positive territory before it just went back down. All right, the temperature now in Rapid City also below 0 with 2 below, 1 degree at Billings and at Minot. Look at Fargo with 2 degrees above 0, and Minneapolis is 1 right now. And you know, you factor in some wind and it is really, really going to be frigid out there. Make sure everything is covered once you're out there, as some breezes could lower those wind chills down to dangerous levels. That cold high pressure from Canada now has sunk all the way southward, and as that cold air continues to flow southward, we're going to see temperatures, the highs mind you, 15 to 25 degrees below average in portions of Kansas, Oklahoma, and even the Lone Star State. Even South Texas down along the Mexican border is going to feel this chill. Here's what we're talking about. San Angelo, Texas, 22 degrees below average, 35 for the high on Wednesday. Look at New Year's Day here in Amarillo, below freezing all day long and just barely above the freezing mark in Dallas. Then by the time Friday comes, we're going to be back up into positive territory in a good way, but it looks like we're still going to be as much as 10 to 15 degrees below average for many of us. And that will include Oklahoma City. Look at this. 23 degrees for a high temperature tomorrow. Then you're just up a little bit for Thursday, climbing up into the mid-30s Friday and on into Sunday, but still well below that average high in the mid-40s. Kim?
It's also happening here in the Southwest. Looking live at San Diego, Phoenix, and Las Vegas as we track our latest winter storm, Frona. Southern California will see some of the rain on the western side of this storm. Phoenix, you're in line for some messy wintry weather. And could we see snow in Las Vegas on New Year's Eve? Good question. And even here in San Diego, one of the most snow-resistant cities in this country, there's going to be snow not too far from you with this. So you just have to go up in elevation, maybe about 2,000 feet or so. We are going to be looking at the potential for some snow. All right, Las Vegas, maybe a few flurries in the area off and on, but we are going to see maybe a little bit higher threat coming in to your area. So if you are in the Vegas area, don't be surprised you see a few snowflakes. But overall, as far as accumulation, we're not really expecting a lot to accumulate in the area. But maybe some of the mountains outside of Vegas is where we're going to see it. So overall, very spotty. It's really as you head off to the west and the southwest, where the upper level system is now moving into Southern California. That's where we're starting to see some of the rain now coming in. On our water vapor imagery, we notice right in here, this is it. This is the disturbance that's coming in. That thing is diving southward. As it does, expect a chance of rain to increase and expect the snow levels to drop as well. So again, down to 2,000 to 1,500 feet or so outside of San Diego. So there's the low itself. It's going to be slow moving off to the east. Look at the jet stream all the way into Mexico. So north of the jet stream, good rule of thumb, always cold. And that's what we're looking at, below average temperatures in this area. So low tracks right over the Four Corners. We're going to see some heavy snow for the southern Rockies for sure. So here's our forecast. Flagstaff in need of some snow. We're going to see it. Phoenix, again, expect the rain. A miserable day, it looks like, for tomorrow. Cold and rainy. Again, heading up 17, you will run into the snow. And then there's that snow forecast all the way into New Mexico. Albuquerque, chance of snow for you. This may be the first one of the season for you guys. So, Nick, again, cold in the southwest, but also the chance of snow. The snow levels very low. Back to you.
Well, now to the latest information in the search for the missing Air Asia flight. It disappeared over the weekend after flying into bad weather. Authorities say they have found debris and bodies from the jet. They're now concentrating the recovery efforts on an area just 10 miles from the plane's last known location. NBC's Katie Tur has more.
A tough tough day here in Southeast Asia as officials confirm that they found bodies and debris in the water. Those bodies and debris from that missing flight, AirAsia 8501. It was all made even tougher by the fact that relatives found out this news by watching local TV live and seeing those bodies floating in the water without any warning.
I apologize profusely for what they're going through. I am the leader of this company and I have to take responsibility.
There were 162 people on this flight. 17 of them were kids. One was a baby.
The passengers were on my aircraft and I have to take responsibility for that.
They're going to resume the search again tomorrow morning. There's a number of ships out there, planes, helicopters at their disposal. They're going to send divers down to an area where there's a large dark shadow. That's where they believe the bulk of the wreckage is. They're hoping those divers will be able to find the black boxes so those black boxes can be taken away, analyzed, so they can find out just what went wrong with this airplane, find out lessons that they can learn. Meanwhile, family members have chartered a plane for tomorrow. That plane will be taking them around the Belitung Islands so that they can pray the last known location of this plane. A tough day here, but it will begin again tomorrow. They are still calling this a search and rescue operation, so there is still hope that there could be survivors. Back to you.
And our coverage of this tragedy off the coast of Indonesia continues here on the Weather Channel.
Storms have hampered the search and rescue efforts since the flight disappeared on Sunday. We'll look at the current conditions in that area straight ahead.
And as we head to break, we're looking live at San Francisco, where winds are a problem at this hour. We're also getting reports of large trees down, at least one crashing onto a home.
Let's take a look at the current winds right now. We've seen gusts up above 40 miles per hour. They are still really whipping right now, and we could see more tree branches down. Be careful if you're out driving this evening. Still, wind gusts in the last hour have exceeded 35 miles per hour in San Francisco.
And I guarantee there's probably airport delays. Check ahead if you're flying out of San Francisco. There's some of the damage being reported around the area. These are non-thunderstorm reports, by the way, so just gradient wind causing this.
I went to Ancestry.com, but I thought, I'm not going to make it very far. I knew my parents and my grandparents, and then it happened. I got a leaf. When I clicked on it, I could actually see my grandfather's draft card from World War I and his U.S. Census from 1910, and another member's tree that had my great-grandparents and their parents and everything. And it all started with my first leaf.
Who will you discover at Ancestry.com?
You pay your auto insurance premium every month on the dot. You're like the poster child for paying on time. And then one day, you tap the bumper of a station wagon. No big deal until your insurance company jacks up your rates. You freak out. What good is having insurance if you get punished for using it? Hey, insurance companies, newsflash. Nobody's perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
If a denture were to be put under a microscope, we can see all the bacteria that still exists. Polident's unique MicroClean formula works in just 3 minutes, killing 99.99% of odor-causing bacteria for a cleaner, fresher, brighter denture every day.
This winter, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
It's going to have wide-ranging impacts.
Winter storms are too important to cover in just a few minutes.
It's going to be brutal for a lot of people.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
That's why those temperatures stay cold.
Look at this!
Listen to that!
See this winter like never before. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, periods of rain early, low 69. Rainfall around a half an inch. Wednesday, afternoon showers, high 79. Chance of rain 40%. Wednesday night, a few clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 67. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weather ever caught on camera.
Oh my God!
Every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Americans drink 48 billion bottles of water every year. That's enough plastic bottles to stretch around the Earth 230 times. Each Brita filter can replace 300 of those. Clean, clear Brita water. Nothing is better.
Great, another wedding. Then I'm a bridesmaid in 3.
Oh.
It's okay. I've joined 14 online dating sites.
14? Is one of them eHarmony?
I don't have time for all those eHarmony questions.
Beth, do you want fast or forever? Only eHarmony.com takes the time to find you that perfect someone.
Another invite. Oh, and here's the dress.
eHarmony.com. Stop waiting. Start communicating for free today.
Started my Camry. Drove to her wedding. Did not forever hold my peace.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. Now, today brought a new problem for AirAsia. We'll update the search for the airline's missing flight 8501 in just a moment. But earlier today,